Alrighty. All right. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back with another session, recap session, with Flash Funds. And I'm Mr. Trades, and I'm going to go over all the trade that we have this week. This week was very phenomenal. We had a very good runner. Well, I wouldn't say phenomenal technically, but we had one runner that was very nice and took advantage of it. But rest of the week after month, I think I believe Tuesday. I'm gonna go over all that. Uh, the play that we had. After that, it was pretty dry due to earnings on big caps. So on the small cap, we didn't see much of movements and volatility. So before all that, before I start going over all the trades that we had, I'm just gonna keep it simple here, and just remember, I don't know if you want to take it as a disclaimer or not. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just simply going through all the trades that it's based on my knowledge, and I do think there's a potential to take advantage of them and grow your portfolio. At the end of the day, it's your decision that you're making, and it's not based on anyone's opinion. It's more opinion. So all that, a little bit of a disclaimer. But this video is only dedicated for the people in the group. I'm not technically uh, doing this out of Flash One or anything like that. And I just want to clarify that before we start. And so let's get into it, because I want to keep it short today, as I'm attending to a meeting. But let's get it started. So on Monday we had two plays that one of them was the previous runner and the multi-days runner, Veru, one of those stock that has been gradually pumped, and we took advantage in the past few weeks. And I was looking to potentially trade it this week as well, but my price target and entry wasn't really the area that could hit, and eventually that happened and didn't hit. So Veru was one of those that I'm still kind of looking forward to this in the future. I'm still looking at the pattern that I have, the big picture, which I always suggest to people. I know a few of you guys in the group that are probably looking for bigger picture and bigger, I guess, view of the movement, which is definitely something that you should always look at if you are a pattern trader, if you are if you are a pattern trader, or you have some swing ideas and some sort of pattern that you have in your mind. But if you're like a scalp trader, or looking to kind of like scale in, even though scale in and scale out is kind of like with the pattern trading, it's similar. But yeah, for scalping strategy would be a little bit different. But in the big picture, Veru looks definitely interesting, and I would personally have this on my watch list for a few I guess, as long as the volume in it's just still above the average, over midterm. But definitely, this is not something that you should look at as an investment, because these companies are having they don't have any correct, or they don't have any accurate fundamentals, basically, unless we're talking about something very unique. which in a case of like I mean in the stock market history that rarely happened. Uh, but it's not something that it won't happen. So keep that in mind. But for trading purposes, which we are basically doing, and I personally do, these are the stuff that you can only look at for 1 or 2 days, and that's it. Like I always mention in the group, that nail and bail. Do not. You gotta treat them as a Tinder date. So that's my ideology behind all these small caps. So anyway, Veru was one of those, and we had MDVL. I'm gonna pull it up here. MDVL was actually nice. We had a very quick trade on this. I was expecting more on this play, personally, but it was good. We took whatever we could, and I always have this mindset that whenever there's no reason to trade, you should not force trading. I always mention that in the group, in my channel. Um, you always have to look at look at your criterias, look at your plan, and see if they are matching with your plan. So you can take advantage of it. Otherwise, you're just sitting there and just keep clicking the button and just buy, sell, or you don't know what exactly you're doing. So that's toxic in a world of trading. You have to always keep that in mind. If there is no setup, don't trade. Just go out, go do something else. You don't have to trade, especially when it comes down to small caps. Um, yeah, remember when I mentioned that, oh, I'm looking forward to this particular move or particular action on the stock. It's definitely there's a time stamp on it, and like for example the Veru that we have, I was looking for 1450 to break and to gap up that area, and then holds the 1450, but it didn't happen. So by the time that I mentioned that I'm looking for the Veru to break that 1450, it would be probably around, like, let's say for example, I think it was my timestamp on this was I gotta pull it up. It's roughly around 10 Eastern time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm looking for that 30 minutes if it's gonna go back above, and then we can trade it. But if it's gonna exceed more than that, exceed the time, and go over maybe like 11 a.m. or 12 a.m., 12 p.m., we're not trading that anymore, even if it's hit, because it's not right to do. I'm gonna actually mention that also, just in the for the today's plays as well. VLON. I'm gonna go over that as well. That didn't happen, so potentially you're wasting your time just looking at the timestamp, and then once the volume kicked in at the wrong time, you're looking at the afternoon, and your entries happen. The the play wouldn't be expected as it should be, because there's so many stuff behind it that there could be just a regular cover pop, and definitely you have to keep that in mind. For cover pop, you should not look at the reversals. Cover pop is just a cover pop. Cover pop is just covering the short that happened in the past, and you're just taking advantage of the pop to go long. But you gotta be very quick on that, because that won't last long. It can go back down, but if there is a threshold and there is a pattern that shows, oh, this could be a reversal point, you can kind of look at it and see, oh, okay, if there's a fresh value and all that, we can play that. But other than that, if you're trading a alert that happened on 11 a.m. and you're trading it at, and never happened until like 1 p.m., and you trade it, that's you gotta replan everything. Like that's not gonna be a good strategy. So anyway, just want to point out that, and let's go over MDVL. We had a very quick trade on this one. I was mainly scalping, and I mentioned to the group that the first PT hit, and that's it. We just kind of like I personally was wanted to take advantage of the move, a gap up, but didn't really gap that up. Expecting more on this personally, but it was a nice place, and it's always good to be early than late. So my advantage on this play, I was a bit behind, but I took it because I know my lines, I know my plays, um, and I scalped it as I expected. So MDVO was nice. Also, I think I mentioned that in a few days after we played this again, but it wasn't on the Monday. I'm just going based on the from Monday to through Friday plays, and then we can come back to this. So um, actually, let me go over this. So MDVL we traded on the first on the Monday. That was just a quick trade, and then I did played it. I think yesterday it was also the MDVL. We played it on yeah, we played MDVL again, and that hit easily. Um, it was a very nice play, but also small. But I always have this mindset to secure my bags and take the profit. Obviously, I always mention that you have to take your profit. And one trade, if one successful trade makes my day, I will pretty much be done. I don't want to waste my time to go over afternoon plays and all that. I don't like the idea of over trading. You got to understand, over trading is the most toxic way of doing trade. Like, you have to keep that in mind. Just do not overtrade. If there's nothing there, like, there's no reason that you should do that. Anyway, MDVL, we took the advantage also on the yesterday. It was pretty nice. Very nice movement. I look at it in the past multi-day runners. We saw these double top, well, pretty much like triple top at 312, and I mentioned that I was looking for the 312 to break to the gap above, and that exactly happened. But it happened actually later. To the I was all out after I see the rejection at 312 happened, and then 318 was my next resistance after 312, which expectedly that exactly happened after touch of the 312, 318 touch, and then pull back. So I took majority of my profit before the pop, and then 12 we hit two target, and that's it. And after that, I was out because I have to go somewhere, so I didn't really plan to stay longer. But if you had your position, the stock was still making this higher low beautifully, and and after, I think it was, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. It's just, oh, this is my time, I guess. Yeah, well, I'm assuming this is 4 p.m. 4, yeah, it should be 4 p.m. Eastern. No, I take it back. Sorry. That's actually the Eastern time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern time. Um, it happened, and it just hit the above target. I forgot to mention that if we because the SL, it never hit, it never came down to the stop loss area. And I always mention that when you are taking your profit, your break even point will be lower, so you can technically move your SL, move your stop loss higher to take advantage of the move. Of course, when the stock is at the pattern. But my pattern was here, and I was happy with my profit. That's it. That's all about. And pretty much it. We took it. That was MDVL. Uh, Even though this was a play from yesterday, and we had it on Monday. In a total of like I think 13% or something. Um, yeah. So the next day we had a 500%. Well, not 500% runner. I believe 100% runner. STSS, which was the biggest, biggest of all, and great shorts also. But I do know a few of my fellow traders are took a huge loss on this one because they pulled the bag, but the beginning trade was awesome, and I personally nailed this trade. The reason that I liked the movement on this one was, as always, lower float, higher action. But the one criteria that I always try to avoid is the price. The price on this, well, it was considered as lower than what I'm looking for, but the movement makes me think that, oh, so the price criteria, it's less likely to less likely makes me to makes me discourage me to not participate to the I mean anticipate to the trade. So that was out of the line, and I didn't really care about the price anymore because my price range are usually like between like 250 to $2. I mean, $2 stocks are very rarely I'm looking for, but for the last week and this week we had so many of these $2. And I personally don't like micro pennies, and I don't trade micro pennies at all. Like micro pennies are not my the type of trade that I do. So yeah, this is this was something different. SDS, the movement was very nice. We had this previous high of the day at 320, and I was looking at that, and happened to be the sooner play. We played it. I mentioned that from the lowest area, which was the target that I was seeing, the VWAP roll area, and double top, everything, the higher low over. So I'm going to show you guys one thing. This is my downtrend line. So when the downtrend lines happen, you definitely can take advantage of this line. So yeah, I kind of changed my setup a little bit. I'm going to be more organized about my chart. I usually put lines. I mean, put lines on together in a bad looking, I guess. But for me, it works all the time. But I'm going to be more organized. The same thing. Nothing's gonna be changed for my chart, uh, technically, but the lines will be more, I guess, more clear, uh, for me. That's really preference. That really depends on you. But if you really want to kind of like know like how I chart things and all that, definitely you should reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to jump on the call and talk to you if you want to learn more and stuff like that. Um, yeah, STS, beautiful. Wait, that was like actually the biggest play for the week I had. 40% on the run, and I just took my profit. I wasn't really expecting that, but three when the numbers are not actual number when they hit, it teases you that, oh, there could be more gap to the area. But when you look at the chart, I'm always saying that your chart is your key. This thing is a IPO, so you should you should expect that at any area. It doesn't matter if it's actual. It could have stopped. It could have stopped and not going up anymore. So for IPO, it's very risky to kind of like target things, and chart things. You're in more risk. if you are holding, because IPOs are still establishing where they want to go, and especially in the small cap IPO. I mean, I rarely see this stuff, like a small cap IPOs, and I don't really um, looking them much. I like more historical stock that has been running for a long time. Yeah, and then 362. You expect this to kind of like set up the bull flag and then take advantage to the more, at least to the $4 area, because there's a whole number you're looking at. But this thing is just failed, and short attack happened and lower high, as we can see, higher low and then lower high, and that's it. This thing never came back up at any point. It's just kept on shorting. Beautiful short, actually. I unfortunately I was so happy with my long trade, and I didn't want to short this, and personally I couldn't find any shares, because when the IPO happens, you it's hard to find the shares. I mean, I don't think you will be able to any, because they don't announce any shares for the beginning. So I personally don't know exactly how the shorts on they going to release that in the beginning of the phase. So it's very difficult to find the shares, unless if you have, like I said, always for the broker setup, you gotta have kind of like experience in high quality brokers rather than just TD and E Trade and all that. I also use E Trade as my broker, and only I love the times and sells on level 2, and TD for the charting. But my main broker is E Trade and CMEG. So these are, I mean, CMEG is offshore, but you can also, if you are on a higher account above PDT, you can definitely. I do definitely suggest that you should have you should trade with better brokers and brokers. I can go deeply through that, but I'm not gonna go through it now. If you want to get to know about how to set up your broker with the offshore broker and all that, uh, or day trading brokers specifically, um, uh, please DM me. I can help you out with that. So yeah, that was it. STSS was the best runner of the week, and after that we had Sev. Sev was tricky. Sev was one of those trades that I love this. Um, the news was very good. They had a very nice PR, and I personally wanted this to kind of like, you know ha- potentially. Well, I mean, it has been running for a while. So as you can see, my chart, it's been running from Tuesday, and we had a Wednesday short. This was a multi-day run, but Wednesday after hours squeeze up and short down. I always say the third day is a short day. The third day is a short day, but not necessarily in any case. But generally, 80% of the time, it's the third day is the best day for short. When the stock has over, yes, traded over how many million? Yeah, over like usually 10 million, but when it's above 10 million, you look at the third day, and then you can take advantage of the short. But SEV was one of those tricky play. Good news, and they wanted to pump this, and I personally saw. Once I called it, I saw this is also another criteria that you always have to you have to master yourself. This comes with experience. When you look at your times and sell, sorry, times and sell, and level 2, you can recognize what block order or what biggest order that are coming. And I saw that on SCV. I saw that there is a kick on times and sell for I believe it was like 15,000. 15,000 order, 15,000 share was kicking in, and it was kind of like pushing it, and the order didn't get filled, but all of a sudden filled, and then we just get the gap, and that was nice. That was that's what I saw, and I was like, okay, so this is the time that the smart money is coming in, and you gotta kind of take advantage of it. And unfortunately, kind of like pullback. I expect that to go more, but quick scalp, quick profit for the day, and that's it. That was very very nice, and I personally loved it. I think that was on the Wednesday. Yes, that was on the Wednesday, and Thursday we I was looking at it. I was planning to trade this again, but the stock was. I mean, it had been running. The Thursday was the third day. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Thursday is the third day. Great short. I personally couldn't short it because I couldn't find any shares. So yeah, that's about it. I didn't distract myself with the move and moved on to better stocks. Well, better stocks happen to be caught me on CRXT. Very small, but I was really want this to kind of move to my target. Keep that in mind. I don't usually. Well, I do trade both side. I do trade short and long. Mainly I love shorts, but long opportunities are also beneficial. Well, when you're mastering your short trading, you're getting you will get eventually better in your long trade. Like a lot of people start with short trading instead of focusing on long. But well, not a lot of people, a lot of experienced traders. I'll put it this way. Uh, but yeah, short definitely is an opportunity that you should definitely know and learn about it, and do it. So CRXT was one of those choppy one. I personally, I I didn't like the stock that happened because I'm looking at the previous number. As what I see is here 394. It's basically let me edit this. 394 is basically $4. So my resistance is at $4. It's already an actual number. So above that area would be higher gap, and definitely need a massive volume to come in, which in this case it won't happen. It won't happen at any time soon unless we're talking about the big catalyst. I think there was some sort of catalyst on this, but I'm not sure what was it anymore. But our play was technical, so I was looking at also the PR and my lines. We traded quickly, and I saw the trend crack. I saw my channel is not going to the area that, I mean, it's not stabilizing the higher low pattern, and it's just failed. It's it just failed, and it's part of the trading. And I took the loss on it, and it wasn't a big of a deal for me. And but you always have to learn and process yourself. Don't forget your process. Don't think about your profit and losses. Just focus on your process and love what you're doing. A lot of people make a mistake that just they think about their, oh, I have to make this much money today. I have to make this much money by the end of this month or whatever. If you are thinking like that, you are not going to be make it anywhere like in trading. You have to love the process. You have to love your trading plan then rather than just your P&L. So yeah, CRXD, I believe we played from 242, and I think I alerted the before the VWAP. Sorry, the VWAP roll. I was looking for the VWAP roll, and then VWAP roll failed. So this is my pattern. This is my channel here. I saw this higher lowers just making, and all of a sudden just volume gone. And when I see a sign that shows the stock is about to drop, you can also recognize that too. You usually see that the beat number and ask the beat number is just flashing. When the beat number is flashing and the ask is just stopped, and there's like a 5 or 10 second in between that are showing, oh, this is keep flashing. You can you can already know that, oh, there will be a flush or there will be a big pullback. That's what I always look at. You can take out your position after you see that, and if it's failed to do the flashing, 90% of the cases that flashing thing is just always a pullback, because there's no, like, when you see the flashing, there's no times and sell movement, and you see the slowest movement on the times and sell, and it's just like stop moving, and you're, well, the way of looking at the times and sell on level 2, it's a big conversation. I'm not gonna go through it. If you want to know that, DM me. And when it's a stop, I'm just gonna give you the quick idea. When it's a stop, it's just not a good sign. You gotta kind of like make sure that your position size and what exactly you're looking, because the stock is about to failed your pattern. That exactly happened. That exactly happened to me, and the stock just failed to happen, and failed my pattern, and I took it very quick, and after that my pattern exited. You see the lower high created, never touched it back. So if it was going to break my channel, uh, it was definitely worth retrying, because I was still on the good side of the trade. But my main criteria would, in that case, would be my value, not just my channel anymore. Which technically, the value never came, and this is the result. This is the outcome. And CRXT big fail. Was looking forward to it, but you can also see that later down the afternoon to the close. Still struggling. Big resistance at that area actually. This area was massive. 250, not 250, 240. But usually, you see that there's always a. These whole numbers are very important to know. Like, these are the key areas and key levels. Yeah, and CRXT failed, and MDVL. After that, we take advantage on the same day, and as I mentioned, the MDVL was the nice one. And I'm gonna go over today's play real quick, because I think we're running out of time. So VLON did the same thing, kind of like didn't go above what I was looking for, because the volume just fade out. I alerted today for 246 roll. That was the gap area, and I wanted to see if this. I usually put the alert before my put my chart alert before my trade alert. To kind of like go back to, if I'm like out there not focusing on the chart, I can instantly get back to it after the alerts just rang. So never happened. The volume just fade out, and just this stock just keep on shorting. But I personally think that there was some sort of push, and I think in the afternoon we could see above this stock trade above the VWAP, and definitely above the trade alert. But like I mentioned in the past, the beginning, just don't trade the same one based on the time. Like, you have to understand, I was focusing on this to break at this time. When it goes to this time, I'm not really interested anymore. I don't want to trade this, even if it's break. Yes, if I have some sort of strategy from this time to the next time, of course. But at this time, I don't have any ideas, so I don't want to really focus on it. I mean, I don't want to waste my energy. I was only looking for that, and then break, and then the stock could have run, but short were more powerful today. And also, it's Friday, so when it's Friday, you gotta kind of understand it. Things are slow, especially in small cap. So you gotta have that in your head and kind of know where to look at. But if it happened that the same time that I alerted, because the downtrend line channel I had, the line here, it's already been done. Like, it's still, stock is still on the, good side of the trade. It could potentially run, but I'm not really interested anymore. It doesn't have the value. My main criteria, number one criteria, I don't care about the lines, chart, anything. My main number one thing is, I always mention in my previous videos too, if you go back to see to watch them. Volume, volume, volume. If there's no volume, if there's no liquidity, there is no uh, reason for you to just trade it. Like, it's ridiculous. The amount of time that I say that it's too much. But yeah, so that was it. That was about it. And VLON didn't get it. I also really focus on my watch list. HCDI, pretty nice actually. HCDI, and it was kind of like a swing trade from yesterday. I missed this play entirely, so there was another one, CY, and I personally look forward to this in the past, but I'm thinking this thing can also run next Monday. I mean next week. So we'll see. We shall see how they are going to perform. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. Once again, it is a pleasure to be part of the Flash Fund. And please feel free to reach out to me, DM me. And I also wanted to mention this. I am going to kind of work around the idea of going live on YouTube, and probably on Discord channel. There's an option that I can play around with it, but I'm not too sure yet. I gotta test things out, but I love to get some idea. If you have a suggestion, I'll do that. So anyway, hope you guys have a great weekend. Um, as always, I'm Mr. Trades, and happy to be here. Happy to help you guys out. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and if you kind of want to learn one-on-one with me, you can always DM me, or just ask one of the members, um, one of the main members, about me. So they'll put you with me. Anyway, great, and have a great rest of your day and weekend.